me seems crazy, crazy. Graveyard theory. I goes try to approach me and got Larry. Ask him a question.
Oh boy, I do not feel mentally prepared for this at all, but screw it.
It'll be fine.
So yeah, last week, no Shaman King, so it was like, alright, I guess we'll take a week off, cause there wasn't much to talk about in Ghost Game. And then, like, stuff started happening in Ghost Game.
Yeah, finally.
So I suppose now it's time to talk about all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's
I kind of watched those early in the week, so I'll probably need a refresher, but,
Yeah, I feel like I watched them, like, later than usual, so I'll probably be pretty good.
Alright.
Yeah,
Okay.
are we ready to get into this?
Yeah, let me quit out of Elden Ring. I learned the location of the Claymore, I have to go get it.
Oh boy, is the Claymore still good?
I mean, probably, it's the Claymore.
Yeah, that's true. This is true.
Claymore, like, if it's the same move, set as Dark Souls, then yes, it's still good. And it's been the same from Dark Souls 1 to 3, so I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Yeah, okay.
Anyways, yeah, hey everybody.
Yeah. So hey, how do you feel about time travel stories?
They can be great and they can be awful.
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like I'm on the same page, really.
Yeah, there's kind of no in between, is there?
Yeah, I guess like, and I guess like if you think about like the Cell arcs, kind of like a weird in between because most of it's not really about the time travel.
That's
so it's
fair.
like, yeah, there's stuff I really like about it and stuff that isn't that great. So it's kind of like, you know.
I like the idea that the Cell that they fight in the main timeline is one from an alternate timeline where Trunks defeated the androids.
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
Yeah, that Cell kills that Trunks and steals his time machine to go to a timeline where the androids are.
Yeah, I guess he just got really strong by eating a lot of people and just overpowered them by surprise. Just sort of snuck up on him.
Yeah, well, that's what it shows in the flashback to, like, when Cell's explaining how it happened. He's like, yeah, it's Cell sneaking up on Trunks and catching him by surprise. And, like, as we've seen, if you get caught by the tail, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So yeah, Digimon Ghost Game, effing episode 19? Yeah, 19. So yeah, this is just the Piximon episode.
Yeah, they should have killed Piximon.
Oh yeah, they probably should've. But there's some interesting revelations here, if you think about it for a second.
I'm wondering if you caught the same thing I did.
Yeah, I feel like I probably did, cause like, alright. So a big, like, premise of this episode, I feel like we're probably gonna, like, power through it pretty quickly, because there's not a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's, like, one part of it that's really interesting.
Yeah. Not to say it's a bad episode, like, kind of glancing back through it, it's, like, it's really, like, cool, you know? Like,
Yeah,
there's a lot of cool, like, good sound design and a lot of creepy imagery and stuff.
Yeah, this is one of the episodes that I think is actually fairly creepy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's just one little detail that, like, blink and you might miss it, and it's like it overshadows everything else.
Yeah. But yeah, so Gamamon has to go out on errand.
Yeah, well, he wants to. He wants to do something on his own.
He wants to be more independent.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of both a blessing and a bit of a curse. Like, Gamamon seems to really be getting way more independent.
Yeah, but I don't know. It makes more sense that he's going through kind of a thing that Guilmon went through, where Guilmon kind of grew up a bit.
Yeah, like he wants to take on more responsibilities and he's like making his own decisions and I feel like as we've kind of noted it before, like there's been moments where like heroes said a thing and then Gamon's just kind of ignored him because no, gotta fight though, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, like the next episode's one where that like really ends up working out. But boy, are there probably going to be points where it doesn't work out in the future.
Yeah. There's another big, like, the second episode has way more like oh wow, this is okay, now we're getting places, but
Oh yeah, episode 20 feels like just a straight up like plot episode.
yeah, 20 is when we get to the point where it's like, oh, finally.
Yeah, oh, we're finally learning stuff. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So-
Garamon goes on an errand. And then like while this is happening, like yeah.
Yeah, a mysterious voice is calling out to people, including the main cast, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna send you to a place where you can have fun. And then they disappear.
It's actually
Sorry,
go ahead.
Real quick, I hadn't seen like the preview for this episode, but like the voice calling out and everything, and I was like, is that Piximon? I just had a feeling.
Yeah. I don't know why. I was like, is this Lady Devimon? Because it doesn't quite sound like her, but the episode's called like The Witching Hour, and I'm like, wait. No, are we gonna deal with like a witch type Digimon or something, or like some kind of sorcerer? I mean, I guess that kind of does include Piximon.
It would have been cool if the episode was actually about Witchmon.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool. Man, it's actually really funny, because, like, effing Angormon sees the sun setting, and he's like, oh yeah, it's like in the middle of, like, transitioning from, like, day to night, and this is called the witching hour. It's a time where, like, magical things happen. As he's explaining, like, weird crap is happening to Rui, and she can't hear him.
Yeah, Ruli is getting teleported away as he's explaining this, and then he doesn't look over until it's too late.
Yeah, literally during the exposition of like, oh yeah, watch out for weird stuff happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, the big crux of this episode is that Piximon is sending people back in time to have fun with them. And he sees this as like a positive, because time travel is great. Except it turns out, like, if you run into your past self, they're like a weird shadow person. And like, the closer they get to you, the more they kind of like become you, and the more you become the shadow until they like take your place.
Yeah, I don't think it's a past version of yourself though, because everybody's a shadow, not just like the other, like the version of yourself. Like, I think it's less that he sends people back in time than more that he sends them into like a weird parallel dimension that looks like a previous time period.
Yeah, actually that makes a bit more sense, because it's like, it definitely feels like there's more going on than just time travel, but the time travel aspect of his power is what they like really focus on the most.
Yeah. Also, maybe it's just because I don't live in Japan and I'm unfamiliar with like the cityscape, but it doesn't seem like he sent them back in time very far.
Oh yeah, like he could have sent them back like like a day, and it would have like
Well, probably not, because they're remarking on buildings that it's like, wait a minute, this building isn't here anymore or whatever.
Yeah, that was a thing.
Actually, I'm forgetting the fact that they live in like a weird like future where like holograms are all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't see any of them in the past.
Yeah, that completely just like slipped my mind. Yeah, because like it feels like the actual holograms and stuff just come up like so infrequently, weirdly enough, that it's like it's very easy to forget they just live in the future with like robots and stuff everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, the hero and Ruli get sent back in time or to the parallel universe or whatever, and they're just kind of wandering around, and then they notice that there's just a shadow stalking them, and it's just making like staticky noises and following them, and it's genuinely like creepy.
Oh yeah, it's such a good setup.
Yeah, and as soon as you see like parts like this image here, the like parts of their faces like coming through the shadow, it's like, oh, I see what's happening.
Yeah, I probably should have gone to a druid, but there's like there's a point where Hero's shadow just like his face just like expands and just like the shadow part disappears. I shouldn't say his face expands, that sounds weird. But yeah, the shadow part like disappears. It gives this crazy like evil smile. Like he just gives him a look. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, these shadows are like super evil.
Yeah, I just thought it looked really cool. Was like half shadow like this. I had to get
Yeah.
this shot.
Yeah, and even when they eventually they do take their entire body and like the original turns into shadow, but it's like even after they fully transform, they still like they don't talk. They just kind of growl and make staticky noises.
Yeah, there's like a bit of bullshit here where it's like, oh yeah, Hero just cries to Gamamon and it's like his Digivice glows and that just allows him to transport through space and time to find him or whatever. But I mean, it's fine enough, Digivice just does what it needs to do sometimes.
Well, it makes more sense. It makes a little more sense if you consider the like I said, it's less of time travel and more just like here's an alternate dimension that looks like the past. Like it's a Digimon ability, and that would explain why the Digivice can cut through it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Although it is clear that Piximon actually can travel through time.
Oh yeah, just straight up like he. All right, so we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone like your partners just show up and they save their like past selves, and it's a nice cool thing. Everyone kind of gangs up on Piximon, and because he's like just a weak kind of like
He's
like
small.
yeah, he's a very small, weaker like ultimate, but he's still an ultimate, so they managed to kind of get the best of him a bit.
Yeah. And he's like, fine, I'll go back in time and erase you from existence. And he just leaves.
Yeah. He just disappears. And everyone's like, oh.
That's a problem.
How?
Until Piximon comes flying back out of the rift and like he's like beat up.
Yeah. I think he specifically says something like, I think exact quote something like, who
What
are
are
you?
you?
What
Yeah.
are you? Yeah, you just ganged up on me. Oh, that was crazy.
He doesn't mention them like ganging up on him. He's just like, "What are you?" And I think that's the detail that we're both catching on to, because he went to the past where they should have been weaker, right?
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
just assuming he ran to Gulu's Gamamon and maybe a
Exactly.
few other people.
Yeah, I'm thinking that like Gamamon has kind of a mysterious past thing going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay, he used to be like Gulu's Gamamon like full time, probably.
Alright, so I've got a theory that's forming, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, hear me out. So it's like, sometime in the past, Gamamon was just Gulu's Gamamon just 24/7, like he just evolved into that form.
Mhm.
And he was like part of some kind of like gang or group or whatever with like, the black Agumon we saw and the black Gatomon, right? Like they're just sort of like a weird evil Digimon group or something. And then something happened. And like Gamamon reverted and lost his memory. And like I'm thinking maybe like the black Gatomon, black Agumon might have had like a falling out or something. Cause that seems like, Black Galamon's just walking around able to, like, open portals, and he's, like, sending Digimon, like, from the human world to the digital world. But that doesn't really explain why someone else is opening portals and sending them from the digital world to the human world.
Yeah.
So
Although
I'm thinking maybe that's what's, like, going on. Maybe it's, like, the Black Agumon's opening the portals on the other side, and, the Black Galamon's opening the portals on this side.
Maybe. I mean, it could just be random portals appearing in the digital world for whatever reason, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's someone specifically doing it.
Yeah, like it's a very loose theory right now. I don't have like much like to go on for it other than the fact that Black Agumon was watching them and seems like he's gonna be important. But
Yeah,
I feel like it does kind of make some level of sense, right?
yeah. Also, jumping ahead slightly, confirmation that it is just a regular black Gatomon.
Oh yeah, like I was thinking maybe it was some special variation or something, but no, it's just a Black Gamma, a little outfit. You know, he's
Yeah.
just got a little coat and a hat. Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah. But yeah, Piximon gets wrecked in the past by, I'm guessing, Gulus Gamamon, and then he's like, "Fine, I'm gonna go to the future for some reason."
And here's the other big bit of interesting information.
Oh, I
'Cause-
thought the first thing was way more interesting. But
Oh,
here it
yeah.
is like, oh man, you guys are so nice. I would be your friend.
Yeah. So I'm going to like go out wind, like blah blah, go out limb and guess that like Pixie-Gamon went to the past, got wrecked or whatever, came back and he's like, alright, fine, I'll go to your future. I need to see what's up with you. And I'm guessing, like, he shows up at some point when Gamon's turned into, like, an Ultimate or Mega or something. And he's like, oh man, that's crazy. You guys are great. Yeah, I want to be on your side.
Yeah, or it could just like, considering how how much they're trying to be friends with like every Digimon they come across, it could just be that they're really, really nice in the future.
Yeah, maybe at some point in the future, like, they help Piximon out, and he sees them, like, helping himself out, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also-
I will be on your side.
Also, something kind of glossed over: Piximon's trying to steal their Digivices.
Oh, yeah, just sure, that's what it's about. He's like, his logic is literally like, I'm going to take you to this other world to show you a fun time, and you'll be so glad you're gonna give me your Digivices willingly.
Yeah, and he gets really mad when they don't.
Yeah, it's a very, very flawed logic on his part, but, you know, fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, everything just kind of resolves itself, and Gamamon goes into the store and gets his chocolate.
Man, I wonder if Gulu's Gamamon could, like, reverse his time travel abilities or something. Because he did somehow it seems like Gulu's Gamamon managed to, like, reverse the abilities of, like, you know, Clockmon and bounce them back on him. Just,
That
like,
was-
Clockmon aged Gamamon up, and then, like, somehow it, like, flashed back at him.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, there's that whole weird thing. It was like, oh, alright, what's this about?
Okay, yeah, I thought you was talking about when Battle Gamamon gives him, like, what's it, CPR, basically.
Yeah, that was a whole other thing, because he was forcing the little, like, hand on his clock body to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I feel like there's, like, these interesting little details that are finally starting to come together a bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, solid episode. Pretty, like, fine. Just, you know, not a lot that really happens.
It has enough that ties it into, like, Gamamon's past or, like, whatever, that I'm more interested in what happened in this episode than most others.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This was like a huge breath of fresh air after, like, you know, like, what
Monster
was
of
the
the Week.
last episode?
Peter Panmon.
Yeah, like,
Petermon.
Petermon, where it's like no one really seemed to, like, you know, it's like, yeah, gotta smell the kids and then take them away or something. I sure hope that, like, Kyo doesn't smell bad in his wizard elf cosplay.
Oh, no.
Meanwhile, in the next episode, it feels like a lot more is actually kind of happening now.
First hard confirmed 100% certain death.
Yeah, straight up, huh?
Very beginning of the episode.
Well, wait, no, there's, well, yeah, hard confirmed, yeah. Because we had, like, soft confirmed deaths with, like, Cherrymon, but we didn't, like, you know, like, actually hear someone say that guy died, you know?
Yeah, that guy might have been released with all the others. Like,
Yeah, maybe they survived being digested somehow.
but yeah, like this, we literally see, like, we don't see the full thing happen on screen, but it's pretty obvious.
Yeah, like, the people are literally calling these Digimon murderers.
Yeah. Yeah, episode starts and like it's a burning house, and like these parents like, no, our son or whatever, and then he starts stepping out of the house and he's on fire with like this like purple fire, and he starts walking, and then he steps out of it and he disintegrates.
Yeah, and I feel like you're probably at the same point I was, where it's like, oh yeah, there's gonna be Digimon causing these fires.
The dark one, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking it's like, oh, they probably burned down the house or something, and they're doing some crazy crap.
Oh, I wasn't sure what that was about. Yeah, I just kind of, I don't know what I thought at first. I honestly can't remember. But when I saw the kid step out in the flame and he was like safe from the rest of the fire, I was like, maybe like there's something else to this.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was right.
So this episode of this, like, Saverdramon, who's this cool black flying Birdramon knockoff, and Flare-Rizamon.
Dark Flare-Rizamon.
Dark Flare-Rizamon, yeah. They're just sort of like... They tried to help this guy, basically, as we learn.
Yeah.
Because they have this ability where they can put, like, a fire trap around someone. Like, you know, keeps them safe from burning, but if they try to leave, then they burn.
Yeah.
And they're, like, trying to save them, and they're like, okay, yeah, you know, just do exactly what we say, just, you know, move slowly. And the guy freaks out because monsters and runs out of it. And then, you know, because he leaves the trap, he, like, burns up and dies. And everyone blames these two, and they start, like, freaking out. And they're like, okay, this world just straight up does not want us. They don't want Digimon around, you know. They think we're, like, these horrible monsters. We need to, like, force this kid with a Digivice who's somehow connected to Black Gaomon to, like, open a portal so we can go back home, because this isn't gonna work.
Yeah. Now, I'm sympathetic with them being like, okay, this world hates us, we want to go home. But also, in their attempts to, like, talk to Hiro about this, like, they're constantly attacking him and his friends, and, like, if Ruli and Kyo weren't smarter about things, they would have straight up died.
Oh yeah, straight up. Like, I get the impression that they're just, like, you know, they're kind of, like, distrustful for humans at this point, and they're just, you know, like, alright, well, we're Digimon, you know, we're strong, we'll just make him do what we want, because there's two of us, you know. We just gotta get this done by force if necessary. And they just don't really think through, like, you know, just... That's the thing, it's like, I think they actually do ask him at some point, and he says, like, I don't know where Black Gaomon is, and they don't believe him. They think he's, like, lying about it for some reason.
Yeah. And another thing is, like, they go to Kyo, and they're like, where's the kid with the white Digimon? And then they tell them, and then they leave him in the fire trap.
Yeah.
and they're like, you can leave anytime you want, by the way, knowing full well what'll happen. Like,
yeah.
I don't actually sympathize with these guys very much at all.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's like, they could have handled this way better, but at the same time, you know, I get where they're coming from, you know. I sympathize with their motives, just not their actions.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, we'll tell you where he is, and then they're like, okay, we'll leave you in this death trap.
Yeah.
And encourage you to die.
It's fine, yo. Like, we gotta get to the conflict, and they're just like, okay, yo, whatever, we just need to, like, go through this as fast as possible.
It's very much not fine. But yeah, Hero and Ruli go to an amusement park.
Yeah.
And that's where they are.
And, like, I think, like, Rui pretty much immediately just gets caught by the fire trap, huh?
Yeah, they show up and set the carousel on fire, and she and Goramon are stuck.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Understandably, like, considering what happens in this episode, it's clear that it's meant to be, like, Hero and Gamamon, the episode.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is absolutely a Hero episode more than anything else, and yeah, I'm fine with that.
Or more of a Gamamon episode, even.
Yeah, this... I don't know if you got this impression, but this feels like a last hurrah for, like, all of Gamamon's champion forms, right? Like,
That's
this feels like, okay, yeah, he has all these cool abilities. Let's just showcase all of this cool stuff he can do one last time in a really cool moment, before we have to basically, like, move the plot forward and start giving him, like, an ultimate form and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure we're gonna get there. It just, it feels like it's about time for it, right?
Yeah, and after he masters the ability to, like, Gamamon masters the ability to just turn into whatever form he wants.
Yeah.
And the animation in this episode's good.
Oh yeah, this is a really good fight scene.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're fighting, and I think he turns into Wezen Gamamon first, and, like...
Yeah, which is the big gun Triceratops.
Yeah, and they just... Like, Wezen Gamamon just can't fight both Dark Flareezamon and Saberdramon at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, he's just getting overwhelmed.
Like, Wezen Garamon's fast and he has good firepower and stuff. Well, relatively fast. Like, he can have people ride him and stuff, is what I'm getting at. But also, he's not that mobile. Mm-hmm. He's mostly, like, a big, like, offensive, just, like, bulky tank. With, like, little gun feet. And I'm glad they finally used the gun feet.
Yeah. Also, I almost forgot my favorite part of this episode, and it's Gamamon's in trouble as... I don't remember who it is. I think it's might be Flareezamon.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think it's him who's attacking Gamamon, and all of a sudden you hear a motor, and here comes Hero on a go-kart trying to run him over.
It kinda works, like it distracts him at least.
Yeah, it's just, like, my favorite part of the episode, where he's just like, I'm gonna hit this Digimon with a little car.
Yeah, but that's the big thing where it's like, Wezen Gamamon isn't, like, enough to beat them, but he gets, a lot of cool, like, shots and ones and stuff. And, Hero's like, alright, well, we have to, like, run away, we gotta figure out, like, some plan or whatever, and Garamon's like, no, I gotta fight them. I gotta be better, I gotta, like, deal with them now.
Wait, okay, hold on, sorry, there's something I just remembered that happened in the previous episode that was confusing.
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
So they're teaming up to fight Piximon, right?
Yeah.
And Gamamon's just like, I'm gonna fly and take him on, and then he turns into Battle Gamamon. And I can't remember who, but one of them is just like, wait, you can't fly like that. And he's like, yeah, I can. And then he just kind of starts flying.
His jump's really good.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's flying, and it's like, wait, what is happening? Because in my head, I'm like, oh, he's gonna boost himself with, like, fire or something. And no, he just starts lifting into the air, and it's like, what? Okay, back to the current episode.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the big thrust of this episode. So it's like, alright, Gamamon finally, like, stands up for himself, and he's gonna fight them all on his own. And, like, he, like, goes for Flareezamon, just goes for it. And he's like, no, I gotta be him, like, I gotta be faster and stronger. And they just evolves again. And he, like, fights his Bale Gamamon, starts getting hits off, and he gets knocked out of that form, and he, like, evolves again, and goes into the Sky form to fight, like, friggin' Saberdramon.
Yeah.
And it's this really cool sequence where he's just doing back-to-back evolutions and just going through all this cool stuff. And there's good animation, there's like good choreography to it. You know, some shots look a bit like wonky. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, overall, it's a pretty cool moment.
Yeah. By the way, to clear things up, it's just Dark Rizamon.
Oh,
and then,
yeah,
and then
alright.
Flare Rizamon is the normal one.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there are some really like impactful hits animated in this episode.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's really cool. And yeah, Gamamon just being like, I need to be faster and stronger. He turns into Battle Gamamon, and all of a sudden Dark Rizamon can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
And he like, launches him into the sky.
This
It's like-
cool one where he fights Saberdramon in the air, and they have this cool little air fight. And he like beats him and goes towards the ground. And Flare Rizamon's like going into hit, and he like shifts forms and turns into Beetle Gamamon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does this cool like uppercut at him.
Yeah. So he lands on the ground and he kind of like does like an upward punch, and there's like a big explosion out of the end of it, and it's like
It's so good.
I was kind of annoyed with all of the forms that Gamamon had, but if they're gonna do stuff like this with it, cool. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Just like form to form to form always feels so cool to do.
Yeah, and I was speculating that it's like, oh, maybe he'll do like slide evolutions, and here we are, he's doing them.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they're technically called slide evolutions, but, you know, sure. Yeah, that's the best term I've got.
It's similar enough to a pre-established thing, I'm gonna call it slide evolutions.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just that same bun as that one in like Shaman King, where you know the guy goes from like spirit to spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After a sound beating from Gamamon, who has mastered slide evolution, all of a sudden, Dark Rizamon and Saberdramon are feeling way more talkative. Like, instead of like, oh, we're just gonna kill you to get what we want, to explaining why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's a really bad example of just talk.
Yeah. There's
I get we had to have the conflict to get the Gamamon stuff, but like
I felt like I'm fine with it because Digimon, right? Like they're just kind of like, you know, big crazy fighting monsters. This is just sort of what they do, you know.
I guess, but it's like, man, guys, just talk.
Yeah, because they explain the thing to Hero, and they're like, oh yeah, we just want to go home because this horrible thing happened and stuff and all this stuff. And Hero's like, alright, but I don't know Black Galmon. I don't think I can help you. And they're like, I don't believe you.
Yeah, Hero could have been like, I don't know where Black Gatomon is. Well, okay, hold on. I was gonna say he could have said like, I don't know where Black Gatomon is, but I could help you find him.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually know their intentions until they finally tell him. And their final thing is, we want to go home. This place sucks.
Can we just talk for a moment about that shot where it's like, you know, Hero and Dark Rizamon are just like in the fire talking, and it just pans from one to the other? It's such a cool shot though.
I don't specifically remember it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's where the screenshot on the like actual stream is from. But yeah, it's where he's like explaining the thing. He's like, humans just see us as monsters and stuff, and it looks so good.
Yeah. And yeah, that's where we get the flashback where it's like, if the first time you see the kid who burns to death, like, it's like you don't see the Digimon, you don't see Dark Rizamon and Saberdramon hanging out with him like, okay, look, stay in the fire and walk forward slowly, and we'll tell you when you can leave, and like everything will be fine. And then the kid is like, oh my god, did you do this? You burnt down our house, and like he freaks out and runs out of the flame and dies.
Yeah. Man, can we talk about that epic shot in the middle of the fight where, like, Flarissimon's body just flashes, and you just see the one red glowing eye? It looks so nutty.
I wish I specifically remembered these moments. I need to. Yeah,
I need to, like, get that one. That was a cool, like, holy crap.
Yeah,
This episode has some really nice looking direction to it.
Yeah, I know it's a bit more work, but you gotta get these shots where it's like Gamamon punching Saberdramon and like that scene you just described.
I really should, but I was already kind of running a bit late. Oh well. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, but yeah, I can imagine what it looked like in my head.
Yeah,
probably because there's some lingering memory of it in there.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
But yeah, it's like, Gamamon just wins, and like Black Galamon's just conveniently there now. And he's like, "All right, yeah, I've got a portal. Come on, you can go home."
Yeah. Black Gatomon probably saw all the fighting happening at the fair, and he's like, "What's happening over there?"
Yeah, this is kind of what started to make me think, like, alright, maybe there's someone else who's, like, making the pearls, sending them here in the first place. Because, like, he seemed very, like, okay with just sending them back, right?
Yeah, clearly he's not sending them there, because why would he?
Yeah, it seems like, it don't feel like that's what's going on.
Yeah. Also, I'm not sure if it's just, like, the design that they went with for Black Gatomon, but he looks so tired of all this.
Yeah.
He always looks so tired of all of this.
He literally just looks like someone else is causing the mess, and he's just trying to clean all this crap up.
Yeah. My only, we're finally getting more information. Also, one of the things is, like, they were going out specifically for Hero, because Hero and Gamamon have really made an impression among all the Digimon stuck in the real world.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really like about these episodes. It's like, yeah, Hero's actually making a name for himself at this point. Like, random Digimon just know who he is now, and they know what he's, like, doing and, like, the things about him. And they're just like, okay, yeah, I will, like, bother this guy, because I've heard about his crap.
Yeah.
This guy's apparently linked to this thing. Alright, I'll just, like, bug him about that then.
Yeah. And like, the Hawkmon in the previous, in one of the, I think it was the Petermon episode, but yeah, they're like, oh yeah, if we're told if we need help, we should go see you.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, people still seem to be, like, confused when Gamamon reverts back, though, weirdly enough.
Well, it could just be that this might be, like, this universe's first contact with, like, human partners with Digimon, and so de-digivolving is probably an anomaly to most of them.
Oh yeah, it's just this interesting little thing where it's like, okay, well, you've heard about Hero and Black Gaomon stuff, but you don't know about this guy who can force his Digimon to, like, digivolve and change their form at will.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a weird thing to have a blind spot about, but I guess it makes sense, it's fair enough.
Yeah, well, they probably heard the more relevant information that he might be connected to Black Gatomon.
Yeah, he might have a way to send you home, Did you hear about that race? Oh, man. They were going along and a big portal opened up and everyone got sent back.
Yeah. Also, there's something that confuses me a little bit, and it's like, why did Dark Rizamon and Saberdramon just happen to be at that kid's house? Did they see a burning house and go check it out? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I'd believe that. They're like fire Digimon, They see a burning house and they're like, hey, wonder what that's about, and they just go there because fire.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, there's somebody trapped inside. My ability can help him, and then things go bad, unfortunately.
I do prefer this to the alternative of them just looking at a burning house and seeing a guy, and they're like, oh yeah, everyone must love fire, right? I love fire.
Yeah, these guys are smart.
Yeah, they're a bit smarter than just being looking at people and being like, "Oh man, fire's the best. You should all be on fire."
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but like obviously part of the story, part of the reason the story exists, and it's like, oh, these actually, well, kind of nice Digimon. I'm not gonna say they're
Yeah, well
entirely.
intentioned.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's unfortunate that these well-intentioned Digimon are also like actually some of the more scary looking ones.
Yeah, that's
Because
the big thing, because it's like, sorry, go ahead.
well, it's like if they were like more friendly looking Digimon, maybe that kid wouldn't have died.
Yeah, if it was like a Demi Miramon, he'd be like, probably more into it.
Yeah, but that's not their fault that they look scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, because, like, out of all the Digimon, like, I could absolutely see these people being very helpful and, like, useful to people and being little heroes and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Because
it's like, hey,
oh yeah, these things just show up and save people when, like, their house catches on fire. That's pretty directly helpful.
yeah, hey, fire department, I've got these holograms that could really
Yeah.
help you. No,
Yeah,
don't ask where I got them or how they work.
just hang out in the fire department and they, like, get to just chill with all the firemen and stuff.
Yeah.
Is this how Promare starts? This is the beginning of the burnish.
But yeah, that's pretty much this episode.
Oh man,
I am a little annoyed. Like, I'm glad that it's going in the right direction, but I am annoyed every time Black Gatomon shows up, sends some Digimon back, and then just leaves, and we don't get to hear anything from them.
yeah, I think that's more of like a byproduct of just like how little real plot progression there's been so far, right?
Yeah.
Man. Hey, Dark Flare Rizamon, just Dark Rizamon, just go hang out at the pizza place and just be the oven. You can do that, right?
Start up the real world Berger transport.
Oh man, that'd be great. Yeah, why would you why would you want to go places? Well, I can go places for you and carry you with me.
Yeah. Although calling it the Berger transport might offend Saberjamon.
The Saberger transport. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but sure.
Saber Airlines.
Yeah, there we go. That's nice. Yeah. Did you see what the next episode was in the episode preview?
No, should I have checked it out?
Next episode, effing Arcanimon.
Oh.
And it doesn't go much further than that, but it's like, oh yeah, spider ladies making webs and doing spider things, I guess. Alright.
I hope that Mummymon just shows up for some reason. Even if they're not actually associated with each other, it's just like, I don't know, it'd be kind of nice to see it.
Yeah, that would just be really fun, like that. I know it's like, oh yeah, I don't want excessive fan service or whatever, but like, they're just such iconic, like pairing in O2. It'd just be like such a fun little detail.
Yeah, 02 doesn't get all that much love as far as I can tell, so just a little Easter egg. I don't know.
Yeah, just a little like nod to it. It'd just be nice.
Yeah, we need medical assistance. Oh hey, Mummymon is back and he actually learned how to be a doctor.
Mummymon shows up and makes an anti-Arcanimon antivirus to her venom. He forms the antidote. Like Rui's dying and Mummymon just shows up with a syringe and he's like, here, take this.
I promise it's not crackpot ancient Egyptian medicine.
Yeah, I actually studied with a real doctor. His name was Joe something. He seems to really know a lot about Digimon.
Dr. Keto.
Yeah, there we go, Dr. Keto. Nice and vague for people who might not catch it. Man, I just honestly, just straight up, like, if this series somehow was tied to adventure, and we just look over, and there's just like an old man Dr. Joe with like a full beard and stuff, would you be into that?
Kinda, yeah. I would like if this was like the future of adventure, and like we actually see the older, like the kids grown up.
Yeah, like, I don't want to take the spotlight away from, like, the new generation stuff and, like, the new characters, but if it was, like, a small reference like that, I'd be super fine with it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, this takes place in that timeline, huh? Alright, yeah, that's a neat little detail. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I think the announcement happened in between podcasts, but they announced there's like a Digimon convention thing, and they announced like a 02 movie.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah.
I don't think there's all that much information about it yet. Just that they announced that it's happening.
Yeah, I just hope it's not Try, but I mean, like, it's 02, so, the bar's already pretty low, honestly. I just want that bit of nostalgia. I just, I want the 02 kids to get something. I want to at least be decent.
Yeah, give us at least Last Evolution.
Yeah, I do honestly really like a lot of their Digimon and a lot of the characters and stuff. It's just like, boy, that plot did them very little favors.
Yeah. God, Try. We don't even see them in Try.
Yeah. At least they did. You know what? I liked what I saw of them in Last Illusion. That was a really nice detail.
Yeah, they're running around helping out and stuff. It's fun.
Yeah, they just get to show up in the background, and it's like, yeah, next generation, do your thing and stuff.
Yeah. Pass the torch so you can lose your Digimon also in a few years.
Man, how wild would it be if we got, like friggin', like, a real, like, Ultimate and Mega for, like, Vmon and, like, Stigmon?
I mean, it'll probably happen.
Yeah, like, we get, like, the, Vidramon line, and we get, like, friggin' Ulforce Vidramon or whatever. It's, like, Vmon's new Mega form.
Yeah, because we did finally get Hercules Kabuterimon.
Yeah. I don't even know why I really want, but it would be neat to get Ulforce Vidramon and for at least one appearance of Dino Beamon. I don't know how, but that would be a really fun little detail.
I mean, they just gotta do an fusion or whatever.
They're just like, oh yeah, we need to fight this guy, but he's too fast for Pyhildramon. And Davis is like, hey kid, let's show him that new form we've been working on, huh? And boom, Dino Beamon.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen like that. It would be like, oh man, what do? We can't beat him, and then everything would seem really dire, and then it's like, oh, their Digivices are glowing.
I just like it when characters are just like, oh yeah, we've like practiced for this thing off screen and then we have a big reveal for it and they're like actually like, confident about what they're doing.
Yeah, but that's not how Digimon does things.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Man, how nutty would it be if we got another, like, new, like, evolution stage or whatever to Imperial Dramon? Like, we just get away from Imperial Dramon to go to, like, the Ultra stage without, like, Omnimon.
That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah, we just get, like, Imperial Dramon X or some crap. Just something wild like that.
They absorb all the Digi-Eggs.
They just absorb all the Digi-Eggs.
Yeah, as Imperial Dramon, and then they like use
Oh,
the power
right, yeah, the Digimentals, yeah, right, alright, yeah. So,
Yeah.
for a second, I was just like, oh yeah, Imperial Dramon just flies over to Primary Village. It just sucks
No.
up all the babies and murders them for power.
No, yeah, the Digimon, yeah, they're called Digimentals, I forgot.
You know, like, if we could get, like, you know, like, ultimate form, like, Vmon stuff, where it's like, it's ex-Vmon using the Digimentals, that would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty nice, yo. Just get, like, new form buff, like, Flame Dramon and crap, and they've all got, like, the wings.
Yeah.
And I think there's something you can do with that, you know? There's some, like, ideas there.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, hey, Kin's gone, how do we get ultimate on our own? Okay, well, let's try using the Magnemon egg on, like, a champion. Right, they don't even have that anymore, do they?
I don't know.
Yeah, because it became, like, the Crest of Kindness or some crap, right? That was a whole thing.
Well, was it Ken's crest?
Yeah, it's like, alright, you know, let's just use the, like, Egg of Courage on, like, XVmon. Screw it, why not? What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, we could just have a thing where, like, you know, the kids partner up with each other's Digimon in this, or at least they did in one episode. So it's like, I don't know, Ken gains the ability to evolve Vmon, and there you go.
Yeah, that'd be really cool, yeah.
Magnemon again.
Yeah, I'd be into that. Like, honestly, that would make as much sense as anything else, because, you know, Ken and Davis already do have that big connection. So
Yeah.
Ken forms Magnemon, and then Davis, like, has to fight with, like, Stingmon. No, he has to fight with, like, Wormmon, and then he's like, alright, Wormmon, it's time to use the Digi-Egg of Courage. Let's see what happens.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's an answer to that. Like, I found a chart that it's just like, this is what happens when this Digimon uses this egg.
Yeah, but, like, I would want to see a new format of it. I feel like it's a pretty good opportunity to just do something cool.
Yeah.
Just fire Stingmon or something, you know? No, they could do something neat with that.
Yeah, they could. But yeah, that's, went really off topic.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, the episode, that's pretty much it for this episode, though.
Yeah, so, any last thoughts, or should we just move on to Shaman King?